Earlier on in today's lecture, I mentioned the importance of hand gesture and said that I touch on some of these. Pardon the pun. Hand gestures are, of course, often culturally bound and can vary from group to group, but there are few of them which is not universal or every common indeed around the world. The salute, the thumbs up, the high five, and the handshake. The salute or gesture most associated with the military may have origin in the 18th century. 18th century. The Grenadiers Guards, one of the oldest regiments of the British Army, used helmets in the form of cones. These were held in place by shin grips. It was difficult to raise your helmet when greeting someone, so the older Sim touched their head with one short movement of the hand before quickly putting it back down again at their side. The thumbs of gesture apparently goes back a lot farther. It's widely believed that this gesture goes back to Roman times, when gladiators fought in front of the emperor and eager crowds in the Colosseum. The fallen gladiators' fate was decided by the audience if they felt he had fought well. Well, they showed their approval with a thumbs or gesture. The emperor would confirm his one terribly would spare the gladiator life if the crowd gave a thumbs down on the other hand. That means execution. However, there are no reliable historical reference to thumbs going either up or down in the Colosseum. It may be that if the crowd wants to spare the gladiator's life, then they would actually cover up their thumb and keep it hidden. They would only extend their hand and thumb if they want the gladiator killed. This actually makes more sense, as the emperor could much more easily see what the crowd was indicating when looking out over a huge arena. The high five and hand gesture is almost universally used as greeting or celebration. Many see its origins in baseball. Two U.S. teams lay claim to inventing the high five. The Los Angeles Dodgers in 19 and 77, or the Louisville Cardinals in 1978. It's quite likely that it was neither, and the gesture might have a much earlier origin. Again, it is very similar to a 19 and 20s jazz egg gesture known as the flow five or giving skin. This gesture involves people slapping each other, lower hand, and also celebration. There are in fact numerous references to the low five in films of the era. Perhaps the high five is just an evolution of the gesture. The final gesture I'm going to mention today is the handshake. It dates back as a greeting at least as far as ancient Greece. In the Acropolis Museum in Athens, the base of one of the columns shows goddess Hera shaking hand with Athena, the goddess of wisdom and courage. Is thought that shaking hands rather than bowing or kissing showed both parties as equally. In 17th century marriage portraits in Europe, we find many examples of handshakes between husband and wife. Now, of course, the handshake has a multitude of uses: meeting, greeting, parting, offering congratulations, expressing gratitude, or completing an agreement. In sports or other. In sport or other. in sport or other competitive activities. It also done as a sign of good sportsmanship in this way. The gesture has not strayed from its originally meaning to cover trust, respect, and equality.